A positive mindset brings positive things. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to cover major headlines of the Hindu, India Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And your first article talks about Yaoshang festival, which is celebrated in Manipur. It is a 5-day festival which begins with the burning of a straw hut, followed by children collecting donations from the households. A key highlight of the festival is Thabal Chongba, which is a moonlit folk dance. This festival also features playing with colors similar to Holi. Here you must know that this festival also features sports events which are aimed at encouraging youth away from the drugs and promoting physical activity. Now, next article focuses upon India-Australia relations, and it is the news because recently both the countries agreed to strengthen cooperation in maritime, land, and air domains during the 9th India-Australia Defence Policy talks in New Delhi. Now, the key focus areas include maritime domain awareness, reciprocal information sharing, and collaboration in industry, science, and technology. Two sides also emphasized exchanges, including deployments between their territories, and they discussed regional and global issues, reviewed past defense outcomes, and set priorities for future dialogues, including the next 2+2 ministerial dialogue in Australia. Next article is related to CAG, and it is in the news because recently Supreme Court agreed to examine a plea challenging the centre's exclusive control over the appointment of CAG. Court issued a notice to the union government and raised concern about whether judicial intervention would require altering Article 148. Now let's know more about CAG. Friends, CAG is governed by Article 148 to 151 of the Constitution, which outlines its appointment, duties, and powers. Article 148 mandates the CAG's appointment by the President with removal procedures similar to those of a Supreme Court judge. Its independence is further ensured by restrictions on accepting other offices post tenure. CAG is empowered to audit union and state accounts and can conduct compliance, performance, and financial audits. Here you must know that CAG's reports are submitted to the President or Governor and then presented to Parliament or the state legislature. But there is no specified timeline for tabling the reports, and despite its constitutional authority, CAG has faced criticism. Next article is related to India and Taliban relations, and it is in the news because now India is moving closer to the Taliban, with reports suggesting Prime Minister Narendra Modi will allow the regime to appoint a new envoy in New Delhi. This follows a high-level meeting in January and India reopening its embassy in Kabul in 2022. Here you must know that accepting a Taliban diplomat would signify recognizing that regime, which most countries refuse due to its poor treatment of women. Here you must know that China has already gained influence in Afghanistan and it accepted a Taliban envoy and funding infrastructure projects. Now India also sees an opportunity to counter Pakistan's decreasing influence over the Taliban. However, engaging with Taliban poses significant risk due to Afghanistan's growing terrorism problem. India has already faced attacks from the ISIS. Therefore, India should demand the Taliban to take stronger action against terrorism before further engagement. Next article focuses upon electoral reforms, and it is in the news because recently Election Commission of India invited political parties to discuss improving the election process following concern over the electoral roll manipulation, duplicate voter IDs, and issues raised by the opposition parties. Now let's understand the legal provisions. Article 324 of the Constitution grants the Election Commission authority over the preparation of electoral rolls and conduct of elections. The process is governed by the Representation of People Act 1950 and Registration of Electoral Rules 1960. Here you must know that voting has evolved since the first general elections in 1952, from separate ballot boxes to the introduction of ballot papers in 1962, and since 2004 electronic voting machines have been used, and since 2019 EVMs are supported by 100% voter verifiable paper audit trail slips. But now the issues are raised, which includes demand for paper ballots, the matching of EVM and VVPAT results, allegations of bogus voters, and use of duplicate epic numbers. And there are also concerns over inappropriate campaigning, excessive election spending, and criminalization of politics. Therefore, there are some reform proposed, which include scientifically determining VVPAT EVM match sample sizes, addressing duplicate epic numbers by linking Aadhaar, and introducing totalizer machines for voter aggregation. And here campaign reforms include empowering Election Commission to revoke star campaigner status for violations, capping political party spending, and enforcing the declaration of criminal backgrounds by candidates. All these reforms aim to ensure fairer, more transparent elections. Next article is related to PM Internship Scheme, and it is in the news because recently Union Finance Minister launched a dedicated mobile app for Prime Minister's Internship Scheme in New Delhi. She also urged more companies to join the PM Internship Scheme, which aims to provide internship to 1 crore youth in top 500 companies over 5 years. Talking about PM Internship Scheme, it is led by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and it offers 12-month paid internship in top Indian companies for individuals aged 21 to 24 who are not currently enrolled in academic programs or employed. The interns receive 5,000 monthly financial support and one time 6,000 assistance. So with this, let's conclude today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.